Morning, members. It is scheduled time to make a start. We have formed the quorum and now call the meeting to order. We're proceeding to the election of chairman of and deputy chairman of the panel on financial affairs. The clerk has notified members that by the end of the deadline, we have received only one valid nomination for the chairmanship, and the nominee is Mr. Jeffrey Lam, proposed by Mr. Ronald Chan and seconded by Mr. Chen Kin-po. According to the ROP, Mr. Lam has not been elected as chairman of any other panel, and he's not the chairman of any other advisory panel. And since we have one single nomination, I declare Mr. Lam elected. Mr. Lam is otherwise engaged this morning, so I'll be presiding over the election of the deputy chairman. We're proceeding to the election of the vice chairman of the Financial Services panel. The clerk has notified members that by the end of the deadline, we have received only one valid nomination for the vice chairmanship, and nominee is Dr. Stephen Wong, nominated by Mr. Ronald Chan, seconded by Mr. Chen Kin-po. In accordance with the ROP and the House rules, Mr. Wong has not been elected as chairman or deputy chairman of any other panels, nor is Mr. Wong the chairman or vice chairman of any government advisory body, and we have only one valid nomination for this office. I declare Mr. Wong elected as deputy chairman of the panel. Congratulations, Mr. Wong. Hand the floor to you, Mr. Wong. Let's move on to item 2, schedule of meetings for the 2022 session. According to the last term's practice, the regular meeting is scheduled for the first Monday of each month between 9:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. We will adjust the meeting time where necessary, and we can convene special meeting if need be. Do you all agree with the arrangement? All right, agreeable. Will members please refer to the schedule of meetings, and do members agree with the scheduled meetings there? All right, items for discussion at the next meeting. On the 16th of February 2022, the Council will hold a debate on the motion of thanks. So we have set aside 9 to 10 a.m. For the meeting scheduled for the 7th of February 2022 for a briefing by the Secretary for Financial Services and the Treasury. Do you all agree with the briefing? For the February meeting scheduled for the 7th of February, it's going to start at 9. And between 9 and 10, we're going to receive a briefing by the Secretary. And other than the policy briefing by the Secretary on the 7th of February, the administration proposes the following 3 items. A, Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Terrorist Financing Bill 2022. B, Hong Kong Monetary Authority briefing. And C, the SFC budget for the year 2022-2023. 23. Is this arrangement agreeable to members? We're going to have 4 items for discussion on the agenda. Yes, please, Mr. Kennedy Wong, Chairman. March the 7th, we're going to have the 2 sessions in Beijing. Mr. Lam will be physically in Beijing. So for the important items, I'm wondering whether we can shift them to other days. I'll follow up on this. Thank you, Mr. Wong. Any further points? Questions? All right. For the next meeting schedule for the 7th, we all agree that it will start at 9 a.m. Till 12:30 p.m. All right. Any other business? Any AOB items that I'd bring up? Mr. Bronick Chen, Chairman. From the Legislative Program 2022, there were 6 items from the FSTB. One of them is the AML CTF. The other one is the bankruptcy, the benchmark ordinance, and there are 3 Inland Revenue ordinance and also insurance amendment bill. That the legislative timetable is focused on the second part of the year. I don't think it's going to do for us to be shifting all these items to the second half of the year. I think we can advance some of the items for advanced discussion, so that when they introduce the bill to the floor of the council, we will have sufficient time for discussion. Yes, thank you, Mr. Chen. Mr. Bill Tang. Chairman, I'd just like to say that we like to invite the administration to discuss some issues. First, people are scammed on a more regular basis. Now, it may have to do with the police, but sometimes they would the scam would be packaged as some kind of financial issues. Now, for these financial scams, I hope that there will be some discussion. Second, now we have the tax exemption for the private annuity, and there is a lack of transparency. People don't really know what they're buying into, whether this is just a kind of slogan. And I hope that for these private annuity, there should be better transparency for supervision. I hope that we can have a go at this. Mr. Holden Chow. Thank you, Chairman. Thanks very much. I'm not a member of this panel, but I'd like to take this opportunity to communicate with the chair. Each year, a lot of members would like to bring up issues for communication or for discussion with the administration. I'll be writing to you later on with further details. One of the issues I'd like to highlight is this. Last term, we talked about the carbon exchange. That the Hong Kong Exchange has said they are studying this, and in Guangzhou things are progressing pretty smoothly. I hope that you will communicate more with the FSTB and see whether this can be brought up for some discussion, and in particular their study report. Perhaps we can have some discussion that this carbon exchange is going to be an important issue for follow-up. Thanks very much, Mr. Chow. Mr. Edmund Wong. Chairman, thank you. The Financial Reporting Council has taken over some of the accountancy supervision function and is going ahead this year. Perhaps we can invite the FRC to come before us. This has to do with the auditors and the financial reporting issue, they should bring us up to date on the transition arrangement. And also about the SPAC trading. I know that there are some SPAC that are going to be listed in Hong Kong. Perhaps we can invite the SFC to come and talk to us about this issue. And this is going to be having profound impact on the market participants. Thank you. Mr. Chin Kin Po, Chairman, thank you. EMPF, right, the electronic platform for the MPF will certainly reduce the administrative costs and optimize the whole system. This is an important instrument, and I hope that the administration will bring us up to date and see what assistance we can give. I look forward to a session on this. Any further points? All right then. According to the usual practice, the chairman and the vice chairman will be meeting with the secretary, and also the matters to be discussed between March and July. If you have any particular issue, please let the clerk know in writing. Unless you have any further points, meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.